walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feeling like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League, and we're here for Let's Talk Euros. Obviously, as I've been saying all the time, this is the only place that is giving you coverage of all the home nations and their journeys in the Euros. Today, we're doing Scotland. Scotland have announced their Euros list. I am going to put the link into the chat for any of you that want to come on. I don't know how long this will be. Obviously, we do have Let's Talk transfers at 3 p.m. So we'll obviously got Let's Talk transfers. So we're probably going to be live for about 20 to 30 minutes on this, talking the Scotland announcement that was made by Steve Clarke. The team is here, so we have got the team for you guys. So let's have a look at what we've got. We've got the goalkeepers, Gordon, Marshall, and McLaughlin. O'Donnell, Patterson, Kearney, Gallagher, Hanley, Cooper, Hardy, McKenna. Who's the other ones? We've got there hidden under Matika, Taylor. And then obviously in midfield, we've got Turnbull, McGinn, Armstrong, McGregor, Gilmore, McTominay, Fleck, Fraser, Forrest, Christie, Adams, Dykes, and Nisbet. Not sure how you say his name correctly, but we are joined by Aaron. Well, let me put the squad down so that they can actually see. Plenty of build up for the Euros. Obviously, we're here to talk Scotland today. Fuck knows when Wales are doing theirs. I don't even know who's picking Wales' squad with Ryan Giggs. A few issues. So obviously, he won't. Apparently, a squad finalised at the end of May. So I presume it's coming up. It'll maybe after Southgate. So Scotland getting in there first. Steve Clarke knowing exactly who he's taken. Southgate is revealing his on the Tuesday. We will be live as it happens. So we'll be live at 12:30. 30 minutes of chatting with some guests on, seeing who we think is Southgate's going to take. Obviously, we've got all our squads for Saturday stream, 8 p.m. It's going to be a good one. I've got a full house for it, an absolute mega one. I've already got 4 of the squads in. There's going to be some arguments. There are going to be arguments all day long. It's going to be great. What we're going to do is anyone that's been picked by everyone, they'll go straight into our combined one. And then anyone who hasn't picked the same ones, they'll go into a national pool, and we'll be doing our combined one live. But let's do Scotland. Let's talk Scotland. They've released their team earlier than Southgate and the others. What have you made of the team? I'm not even going to say it's unusual, because it's fairly what I was expecting. There's no real shocks. There's no one notably left out that you'd have thought that could have been left out. I mean, Tierney's in there, Robertson's in there, McGinn's in there, Gilmore, McTominay, Che Adams. So everyone within the Premier League that you'd assume would be going. Obviously, you've got John Fleck and Ryan Fraser. They're all going to the Euros. What do you make of that? The interesting thing for me, I suppose, is they've put McTominay down as a midfielder. Now he's played a lot of games for Scotland as a centre back. So do you think Steve Clarke's now looking at maybe potentially moving McTominay into that central midfield role for Scotland this summer?
Maybe. I think potentially he could. It could just be a thing of, well, he's a midfielder, but we're actually going to play him at centre back, so it might just be a technicality thing with the way the lineups have been revealed. But you never know; he could move McTominay further forward. I think another big surprise for me is, not big surprise as Dutch, but is the fact that Billy Gilmore's uncapped for Scotland. Yeah, it was a big surprise for me, but I'm glad that he's in the squad. He's proved that he should be there. He's one of the younger ones from the squad, but he's proved that he should be there. Obviously, Scott McTominay, I think he could be a dangerous one for his nationality, as will Robertson battling with Tierney for that first left back spot. Nisbet, I'm not too sure about. I don't know a lot about Nisbet, but it'd be great to watch him in the Euros. But yeah, I think Steve Clarke's picked the strongest squad he could do. I think he's picked the strongest one he could possibly pick. So I think nothing really but praise for Steve Clarke for that squad.
Yeah, I mean, you spoke about Tierney and Robbo. They're both going to play. You can't not have them both in. With the way that Steve Clarke looks like he's adapted to Scotland team. He's played with the three at the back, with Tierney as that left-sided centre back, with Robertson as the left wing back. Obviously, you can change that up and do all this madness with that. But you obviously mentioned Gilmore. Gilmore not played an awful lot of games for Chelsea this season, but it's unlike, and again, I don't mean to be disrespectful to Scotland, but it's unlike England, where if you're not playing, you're not going, because there's a huge pool of talent that we can pick from. Do you think that Gilmore is going to play quite a bit of the tournament this summer, or do you think that Steve Clarke's taken him a bit like Southgate would, or I don't know if Southgate will, but as some managers of England have done in the past, where they've taken players to tournaments and not used them and just took them there to soak up the atmosphere, gain the experience of being with the squad. And I suppose with the 26 that you can take, obviously the 3 extra that you can take on top of your 23-man squad for this tournament, due to obviously the fixtures and all of that, the tiredness. And do you think that Gilmore's got in there mainly because of the extra 3, or do you think that Steve Clarke was probably always taken?
I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. I think it's a slice of both, because I think on the one hand, it's great to have that kind of player there to fill up the numbers, get him used to the atmosphere, getting used to the international experience. But on the other hand, I think even though he's not played a lot for Chelsea this season, I think this is I would call his mini breakthrough year. I think this season's been his mini breakthrough year, because he's sort of found his feet with Chelsea in the first team. He's sort of found his feet in a few games. I think he's been better than some of the players at Chelsea this season, in my opinion. But I think that there's a real chance for Steve Clarke here to utilise his potential. Look at what he's done in the midfield with Chelsea. Take all that talent, play him in the right system, play him in the right way in the system that Steve Clarke plays. There's no reason why he can't get, a few games out of this Euros, depending how far Scotland would go. So I think it's like really a slice of both, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I do hear that. The Dugout Football channel, big up to yourself, and guys, go make sure you check out his channel as well. I'm happy with that squad. If you're free, the link is in the chat. It'd be great to get your opinion on this. From obviously you being from Scotland, it would be very cool if you are free to come on, and then we can have a little chat, because there's some players in there that I frankly don't have a clue about, and that's not That's not me again throwing salt at Scotland. I quite like Scotland, but in terms there's a few that I'm there like, but I don't know much about them. But Scotland are in England's group, so we must make ourselves aware of the teams that likely could be facing us and look at some of the key players. Obviously, there'll be a huge preview. Straight away, I'm looking at Tierney Robertson on that left-hand side.
Yeah.
The right back we need to take is going to have to deal with that in the group stage. I'm not afraid of McTominay. I'm not. He's a good lad, but I'm not afraid of Scott McTominay.
No, it's like me saying I'm afraid of the marshmallow monster rather than Wolfman. It's like I'm not afraid of McTominay.
Yeah. Gilmore, again, is not someone that I should fear. I think I respect them. I don't fear them. I definitely fear Robbo and Tierney on the left-hand side, especially with Gareth Southgate and God knows what right-backs he's taken. I swear if it's Trippier, I'm going to lose it. And then, obviously, McGinn, he's had such a good season at Villa this year. I think it's definitely Villa. I'm all over it today, all over it. I wasn't expecting Scotland to do this. But yeah, McGinn, let's talk a little bit about him. He's going to be a threat. He is definitely someone that we're going to have to keep our eyes on, especially in our group. And look, our group is Scotland, Croatia, and is it Ukraine?
No.
Let me have a little look. I thought it was Ukraine. I could have got that horribly wrong. Euros.
It's Czech Republic, I think.
2020 England.
I think it's Czech Republic.
Czech Republic, yeah, the Czech Republic is the team that is in our group. So, looking at that, Scotland. Now, everyone would assume England could get out of that group. I'd be surprised
if we did. I would be. If we don't get out of this group, Southgate needs to get the sack.
Yeah, more than the fucking sack. I'll start torture.
He needs deporting from England.
I don't know where we'll put him, but he can go to Wales. But no, the Czech Republic. Looking at the group, obviously we'll do England on Monday, so we're not going to talk about England an awful lot. Who the fuck are England? Let's try and pretend.
You did mention about Trippier and the fact that if he's in the squad, you'll lose it. But on the other hand, there's doubts over whether Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to be accepted in the squad. So
yes, and I will lose. I will lose it. Don't worry.
If Trent's not in there, it'll be Trippier.
Don't worry about that. I'll equally lose it if Trent's not in there. But let's try and act Scottish as possible. I know for me and you that's going to be virtually impossible. Although I am a quarter Scottish, but I think I am. Or is it Nate? One of the two. I know I've got a bit of all the home nations. It's beautiful. But let's look a bit at Scotland. I say our group, the group that they're in. Obviously, England, Croatia, the Czech. With the squad that Steve Clarke's announced, what are our thoughts? Are we thinking that they could? I would say the favourites to get out the group are England and Croatia, but I don't think I can rule out Scotland just yet. I mean, they've got that quality. Do you see Scotland being able to get out the group?
You know what, to be fair, I think my favourites for the group are England, and then it's between Croatia and Scotland for second place. But, I'm not even ruling out Czech Republic because you never know what could happen. But I think that I would probably put Scotland over Croatia. And the reason why I say that is because I think Scotland will have the heart and determination and the fight to try and get a result out of every game. I think they could get a result against us. I think we only play them once, I think. So I think if we don't turn up and Scotland do, then they'll get something out of England. No worries at all. It depends which team turns up. But I think that
hold up a fucking minute. Are you on crack cocaine?
No.
I know we can be. I will turn up. There's not a problem. I think it's Wembley, mate. Right, England
Wow.
versus Scotland at Wembley with fans there.
There we
We're
go.
turning up.
England
mate.
will turn up. England will turn up then. If it's at Wembley, England will turn up. I'm just worried that if it was at a neutral venue, I'm worried that England wouldn't turn
I'm
up on
almost
the
certain.
occasion.
I'm almost certain it's at Wembley. And most, I think
some of our players. You know, some of our players don't turn up when there's nothing to play for. So if we're already through and we play Scotland, then there might not be nothing to play for.
We can't. Right. Firstly, have you seen when we're playing Scotland?
I need to remember. Need to double check.
We're playing Scotland in game 2, so we can't already have gone through, right? So we'd go through if we beat Croatia and then Scotland, yes, but we can't already go through there. But let's go back to Scotland. Look, England, I don't think should have that problem, but we'll see. Matt saying rather not be in the Euros than be Scottish. You're not in the Euros. Scotland are clear of Northern Ireland, that's for sure. But Scotland, 2 of their games at Hampden Park, the other game at Wembley. The 2 games at Hampden Park, I think they'll probably not maybe favourites, but they'll think they can get, especially if fans there, they'll think they can get the result. Wembley, though, England, they'll be up for it, but has Scotland got the quality to get a result in that game?
Like I said, it's very 50-50 because you never know what's going to turn up on the day. Like you could try and write football, but football is just unwritten sometimes. You just can't write it. So I think with the other 2 games, with the Croatia one especially, I think they'll really get fired up for that. I think, in my opinion, they could easily beat Czech Republic. I think Croatia will be a tougher one, but I think they could just edge it if on paper. And then
I would love it. I would love it if they absolutely smashed Croatia.
Yeah,
those Croatians. I don't tend to hate. I don't tend to hate nations, but Croatia really fucking drive me mad. Not only what they did. 1 minute. Not only what they did in the Euros, in the World Cup to us. What they did to our under-21s, I'd quite happily smack them all in the mouth. But we are joined by Douglas, who is in fact Scottish, I believe. So it makes sense to talk to him about this a lot more as well. Looking at the squad, for me as an outsider looking in, I would say the surprise bit is probably McTominay put down as a central midfielder. I know he's spent a lot of time playing centre defence for Scotland. But what's your thoughts overall on that team?
I think it's a very good team. It's a mix of youth and experience. I'm very happy Billy Gilmore's in there. I think we saw him last season, and I think it was the FA Cup game against Liverpool where he was absolutely magnificent for Chelsea. Nathan Patterson is a bit of a surprise. I think it's good to see Clark going for players who haven't been capped yet. I'm glad David Turnbull's in the squad. He's had a good season with Celtic. I just think the squad in general is very, very good. Obviously, there's probably a few players in there you would probably question. I think John Fleck hasn't had the best of seasons at Sheffield United, but even then, I'm happy with the squad.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Luckily, your sound went from robot back to normal now. At the start of the game, it cost us robot, but it's back to normal now. What do you make of taking Billy Gilmore, though? I mean, a young lad. Are you thinking that Billy's been taken to gain some experience, or do you think Steve Clark might actually try and use him in the Euros this summer?
I think the fact that the squad is now a 26-man squad instead of 23. He might not have made it if it was 23. Yeah. So I like the fact that he's taking players who haven't been capped. And look, if they don't get games, they don't get games. But what you can say, they'll get the experience of actually going to a major tournament, and then if it's not this time, then they'll get other times for sure.
Yeah, I mean that experience is key. As an Englishman, we've seen it many times where we've taken young players to tournaments and they've basically sat on the bench. It's why my minimum expectation is one of Greenwood or Trent, if not fucking both. Yeah. actually go to get that experience. I don't care if Greenwood don't play, but I want him in that experience.
And we had that under different managers where we didn't. It wasn't just one or two managers with that. We'd always have managers taking uncapped players or young players just to get that experience, even if they didn't play games. Like from Capello to Sven-Jan, even back to Sven-Jan Eriksson, there'd be a couple of young players taken to his squad.
We try not to talk about Capello. That was not
I only say Sven-Jan Eriksson because Richie Wellens got to learn under him. So
I'd again rather. Do you know what? I don't mind talking about Sven, but Capello, Jesus Christ, that is ripping up old wounds. Shay Adams. Now, for me, he's not been clinical for Southampton in any way, shape, or form. Really, he's chosen Scotland as the nation to represent. What are your thoughts with him going in? I mean, I don't know about you. I don't know about Nisbet or Dykes. Ryan Christie. I mean, there's a lot from Scotland here in terms of who play in the SPL that I don't really know too much about. But does that forward line have goals in it?
Absolutely. Che Adams, since he came into the Scotland squad, has actually looked very, very good. Lyndon Dykes was actually at my Scottish club Livingston before going to Queen's Park Rangers, and he netted 12 goals in 11 appearances. So that was a good time for him. Forrest, I mean, look, James Forrest hasn't had the best of seasons for Celtic. He's been injured a lot. And then you've got obviously Ryan Fraser. Kevin Nisbet's been firing in the goals for Hibernian, so it's only fair that he goes in. So, yeah, I think this forward line definitely has goals. I think the only surprise, and I'm glad that he's not on the squad, is Lee Griffiths, who's hardly had a kick in at Celtic this season. So, I really do like the forward line. I like the midfield. I think the only weak line for us, I think, is probably right back. Stephen O'Donnell for Motherwell, and then obviously Nathan Patterson, who hasn't been called up yet. So, yeah. Right backs is our weak point, but I think defensively and the left backs, midfield and forwards, I think we're absolutely fine.
Yeah, and I suppose now you say right back, I know where England are most likely going to exploit you, because our left side actually, the issue of England, and we'll talk to you about what you expect to get from the games, but for England we've got everything but centre backs and a goalkeeper. That's basically, we've got world-class players in every position, barring them. But you start off with the Czech Republic. Both your games against Czech Republic and Croatia are at Hampden Park. So the first one against Czech Republic, then you're down to Wembley to come and face England, which is going to be a very exciting game for sure. And then obviously you're ending with match 3 back at Hampden Park with Croatia. Out of them 3, who do you think you're going to beat, and how many points do you think you end up with?
Well, first of all, Czech Republic, we have actually beaten them twice. We beat them at Hampden Park 1-0, and then we went over to, I think it was Prague, and managed to beat them 2-1. But they had an actually completely different squad that day. So this is going to be a bigger test, and with Thomas Souček firing in the goals at West Ham, he's going to be the big key man. I think. I think we can beat Czech Republic, and actually we've got a decent record against Croatia. So I think if we get 6 points out of those two, maybe get a draw against England. I know that England will be very, very big favourites, but. I think 6 or 7 points. I think you would probably go through with that.
Oh, we're losing.
Yeah, I mean,
we're losing to Scotland. I'm saying it.
Nah, I don't.
With Eric Dyer at the back, we're going to lose.
Oh, fuck up, Velvishwan. We're not playing Eric Dyer against Scotland. Southgate is a wanker, but he's not that stupid.
He's got Eric Dyer. Watch.
No, but he won't. He may put him in the squad, but he certainly ain't playing against Scotland. Jesus, he knows. Southgate knows this. If he loses to Scotland, he's out of the country. That is literally passport revoked, shoved into the sea. Go swim, bitch. But no, I hear that. I think as I said, we'll be live at 12:30 on Tuesday. Bit of build up before Southgate releases his squad, which I'm not actually looking forward to in the slightest because I'm so nervous of what he's going to do. I want him to take my squad because my squad has everything you need from it. But that will be done on Monday. But no, look, I think Croatia and Czech Republic, if you can beat them, I think you go through. Because I see England beating Croatia. We better beat Croatia. They're certainly getting a bit older now. So I see us beating Croatia. I see us beating Scotland, but it'll be a very good game for sure. And I see us beating Czech Republic. So if we can do Scotland a favour, which is basically beat everyone in front of us, including yourselves, all you have to do is pick up the results against Croatia and Czech Republic, and I think you'd go through it. It would be absolutely smashing if England and Scotland can get through out of the group. That would be quite. It would be decent. It would be decent. But Velv, you're obviously back in England in the Euros. But looking at that squad, your boy Robbo's in there. Scotland captain shares duties normally with Tierney, doesn't he? So what's your overall thoughts on what Scotland have taken? Obviously, first home nation to reveal their squad as well. So clearly, Steve Clarke knows what he wanted to do straight from the beginning and isn't messing around.
Yeah, I think Scotland have a very good squad. If you actually look at the Scottish players that play in the Premier League, they're actually really good. Like Stuart Armstrong, he's a very good forward. John McGinn, I rate him very highly. He's a very, very good midfielder. Then you have Ryan Fraser, who hasn't lit up for Newcastle, but when he was at Bournemouth, he was sensational for them. So yeah, Scotland have all the talent, but I don't really rate the manager, to be honest, because the manager, he hasn't got the best out of some of those players in the team that we see in the Premier League, but internationally, he hasn't got the best out of them. Now, I don't know, because I don't watch Scotland every week, but like the things I see from Scotland, I don't think that we've seen their true potential yet.
But the fact that they were even able to get to a Euros, I think, is remarkable for Scotland, because I don't think I've seen those boys join us in a major tournament for quite some time. So, look, Scotland have got have definitely got ability. I think my favourite moment is seeing Scott McTominay have a can of beer sat on a deck chair in the pissing rain. I mean, you couldn't get. In fact, you couldn't get more Scottish if you tried. Sat on a deck chair in the pissing rain, soaked through, drinking a can of beer. I honestly, that picture just sums up Scotland. It also sums up England. I mean, the fact that we've got it sunny at the moment is remarkable. But no, that one.
It was literally sunny and raining yesterday. It was such a weird day yesterday.
Yeah, well, welcome to the UK, mate. That's all I'm going to say. Jocks around the world looking forward to receiving a good spanking at Wembley. Very confident there, very, very confident. The Scots have usually been quite accommodating to England in the past. Well, yes, but that's no guarantee. We do have Southgate, and as look, I know Velveschwan said we'll lose. I mean, I don't think we'll go that far, but he's certainly under a lot of pressure. I mean,
he's going to play a double. He's going to play a double pivot. Watch, he's going to play a double pivot of Phillips and Declan Rice, and he'll probably drop like Grealish or Mount is starting 100%. He's going to start every game. It's just going to be Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice in the midfield. That's so defensive, and I don't know who's at the back. Maguire and John Stones. That's possibly our worst England partnership.
Well,
those
name me another centre back that you could partner there. In fact, don't bother. We'll do that on Monday when we do the
not Tyrone Mings.
Tuesday.
Definitely not Tyrone Mings. Overrated centre back.
You're telling me. But look, we'll cover all of that on Tuesday when we reveal the England squad, when that gets revealed by Southgate. Not us revealing it, because if we were revealing it, we'd be very excited for a tournament. But with Southgate revealing his squad on Tuesday at 1 p.m, so we'll be live at 12:30. So make sure you tune in for that one. Wales, fuck knows when the Welsh are doing theirs. They've got a few issues with who's going to be their manager and their other manager being in court for slapping some women about. So I'm sure Wales have had the best preparations you could have to go into a tournament. And look, I'm sure we'll see the likes of Neco Williams and Dan James and Gareth Bale.
Harry Wilson, he's good for Wales.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I do hear that. But look, we're going to wrap it up there. Scotland, they've released their squad. Clark seems to have got a good mind of what he wants to do. We'll see what Scotland do. Obviously, once all the squads are announced, we'll start the weekly Euros weekly review shows. We may even have a build-up one where we look at what actually happens before. Obviously, this tournament starts, I think, on the 12th or the 11th of June. So not long now, not long indeed. In fact, if I look at my calendar, it's not. I think it starts on the Friday or Saturday, one or two. Yeah, we're not far away from that at all. We're about 3-4 weeks till the start of the Euro, so gonna be exciting. But we'll be back at 3 p.m. with transfer news, transfer talk. As always with that show, link will be in the chat for you to come on and have your say about the major transfer news that has been going on. But before we go, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out our socials at Let's Talk EPL on Twitter and Let's Talk EPL _ on Instagram, also on TikTok at Let's Talk Premier League. But Aaron, where can they find you, mate?
So you can find me on Twitter at Aaron _ Challoner on the road to a K, and then you can also find me on Forever Football DRFC on YouTube, where we've got lots of stuff coming up as we welcome in the Wellens era.
Excellent. Douglas never seen his team at a major tournament. Were you around for '98? Do you remember '98?
I was 6 years old when I was 98, so I can't really remember it at all.
That's fair. I was 3 years old. Remember it vividly.
I wasn't born. I wasn't born.
Yeah. Now look, there's going to be a lot of banter between England and Scotland over the next 4 or 5 weeks, and do you know what? We've sort of missed this because Wales is just Wales, isn't it? You just put a sheet next to them, and they.
Oh wait, now. I'm going to ask one quick question. Douglas, Kieran Tierney or Robertson?
Robertson.
They both play in the same team.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Robertson.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm going with
Tommy. Fuck it, Arsenal fans.
I'll pick McTominay. McTominay is the best left back Scotland have ever had.
But yeah, that was my YouTube, and obviously my Twitter's there. You can see a nice photo that I had yesterday with Chantal.
Yes, 100%. And Douglas, where can they find you, bro?
Yeah, you can find me on nrod_1992. That's my Twitter. You can find my YouTube channel is the Dugout Football channel on YouTube. I'm on Instagram at Douglas.Horn, and you can find me on Facebook, Douglas James Horn.
Perfect. And Velvishwan, where can they find you, bro?
You can find me at Gareth Southgate's house in the evening, just being the living shit out of him if Guy gets into the squad and Trent isn't involved.
I hear that. Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram at VEL_skills.
100%. And you'll also see him on Saturday on this channel, 8 p.m. or around about that time, for what is going to be a very entertaining stream. I've got everyone's squads. Me and I'm going to be fighting with 2 people. That's happened straight away. I won't tell you why. I don't want to ruin the video, but it's going to be a good one. It is going to be a good one
at some point.
That is a good shout. That would be a good shout. 26. If you want to be involved, all you need to do is say send me a DM saying you want to be involved, and send me your 26-man squad so I can make the graphic. That's all you need to do. It's not a very difficult job. You just need to pick 26 English players to go to the tournament. That's all you need to do. If I start seeing a Wales or a Scotsman in there, I'm just going to boot you straight away. Edgar Sengaza's destruction of Scots in '96 was one of my top 5 moments in life. Yeah, Gaz was a super player. But as I said, we'll be back at 3 p.m. with transfer talk. But until then, take care, have a good day, and Scotland. What are they going to do in the Euro?